You not hear us? Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. We appreciate everybody's patience with the IT. I'd like to go ahead and call to order the Fishers Advisory Committee on Disability quarterly meeting today, Tuesday, April 14th, 2026, to order. We have three members that are joining us via Teams virtually, so we'll go ahead and start by doing a roll call, please.
Cecilia Coble,
Here.
Kelly Hartman, Wilbur Sutton, Darcy Keefe. Here. Christy Pogue.
Here.
Michelle Steltz.
Here.
Jason Wagner.
Here.
Jody Johnson.
Here.
Joanne Tedesco. Susan Smith. Molly Connolly.
Here. And for the record, Kelly Hartman and Susan Smith are also here on the live stream.
Can they hear us, Molly?
Can you hear us? Kelly, can you hear us? Susan, can you hear us? It doesn't appear so.
Okay. Well, we'll give them a few minutes here to see if they can fix the IT.
Molly, do you have the option to put closed captioning on the Teams until we can get it connected?
Let me
I believe that's an
see.
option.
Okay.
At least then they can read it until we get it.
And I wanted to just remind everybody, we are closed captioning the meeting and to also help with the ASL interpreters. If you could please, when you're ready to talk, press the button, make sure your microphone is on green, and this way it'll project. So I just want to remind everybody to use the microphone, make sure it's green when you talk. Are they on now? Can you hear us, Susan and Kelly? Wilbur?
Yes, Kelly can hear us. Susan cannot, but it seems to be working. Susan, I'm going to call your cell phone and just put you on speakerphone on my cell phone.
Okay.
All right, if you want to proceed.
So just for the record then, Kelly Hartman is on virtual, and we're getting Susan on, and then did we lose Wilbur?
We did.
Okay. Okay, he just,
Hey Molly, I can't hear like the meeting itself.
Okay, I'll just keep you on speakerphone, and we'll proceed.
Okay, thanks. I don't know why I can't hear. So weird.
Oh, she just hung up. Let's proceed. Okay, go ahead.
Wilbur's trying to rejoin the call.
Okay. If he
Are we able to?
pops up, I will let him in.
Okay,
Thanks for bearing with us.
you want to try one more time, Wilbur? Why don't you just power?
Test, test, test. Test, test, test.
Michelle, do you just want to call Wilbur on like your cell phone and put him on speakerphone, and then we can proceed?
Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test.
Okay, Wilbur is here, and I've admitted him, so for the record, you can show that Wilbur.
Okay, now I'm in, but I still don't hear anything. So I don't
Perfect,
know
we
how
have
I
Wilbur,
turn on this
okay.
thing, but I have-
Okay, we have Wilbur. So Wilbur's here. Kelly, can you hear us? Can you say that you're here? Okay. And Susan's on speaker? Okay.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Next on the agenda is the approval of the previous advisory committee on disability minutes from December 16th, 2025. Do I have a motion for approval?
I move that we approve the minutes.
A motion by Darcy, is there a second?
I second.
Second by Chrissy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, minutes were approved. Thank you. So I want to go ahead and start by sharing the exciting news that we have 3 new mayoral appointments to the Fishers Advisory Committee on Disability. And I've had some time to meet with all 3. I think they're going to be a great addition to our committee, and I wanted to go ahead and have everybody who's here to kind of just introduce themselves. We'll start with Jody Johnson. Welcome, Jody.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. My name is Jody Johnson, and I have been a Fishers resident for 2.5 years. And I was excited to learn about the Fishers Advisory Committee on Disability, and it was immediately something that I was looking forward to hopefully participating in, so I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to do so. And I am a wheelchair user, and I hope to bring my experience on wheels for the past 10 plus years into the community to help improve accessibility.
Wonderful, thank you. We're excited to have you. Welcome. Joanne Tedesco is not here today. Her daughter's birthday's today, and grandma's in town visiting, and I'm like, go spend time with your family. That's the most important thing. But Joanne was very involved in helping to get the Westfield Mayor's Advisory Council on Disability going, and then she moved back to Fishers, so now she's an official Fishers resident. She's going to be helping bring in some adaptive programming to the Fishers Community Center. She got, my understanding is she got she got hired part-time to start focusing on that, and she has a daughter that is here in the school system, and she has special needs, so she's very excited, very passionate about being a part of our committee. So, and then online, we have Susan Smith. Susan, if you could share a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, hi. I'm sorry hold on, let me turn my camera on here. I'm super excited to be part of this. I am a former educator and loved that part of my career. And now I'm retired. Hello?
We can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'm retired and do tutoring and own my own business called Engage Me, and help businesses around the city of Indianapolis with different projects. I worked with the Indianapolis Indians on a project. So I was invited to be part of the conversation at the mayor's breakfast and was absolutely loved talking to all of the people. And Cecilia invited me to apply to maybe become part of the mayor's advisory board. And here I am, and I'm looking forward to working with the wonderful people and then building on some of the amazing work that Fishers has already done. So I'm really happy to be here tonight. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Susan. We're excited to get you going here and seeing you in person here soon. And Susan also has grant writing experience, and so we're really excited about that because I think there's a lot of opportunities out there for grants that this committee could be a part of and would help us with our goals and initiatives moving forward. So thank you. Next, I wanted to share item number 4, committee member updates. I did want to share that Katie Jackson did submit her formal resignation, and she was thankful for being able to serve during the time she did, and just her time commitment right now, it just wasn't working with her availability to really dig deep, but she wants to be part of one of our subcommittees. So we're really excited, and we're always welcoming people. We understand, things happen, there's life, and just we're excited that she'll still continue to be a part of this group, but just not in a leadership position. So thank you, Katie, for everything that you've done to help us out. Next on the agenda, item number 5, is we have a guest speaker today. We have the representatives from a new program called Project Will that has started here in Fishers, and we have Charles Wood, who's the executive director. He's newly hired to be the executive director of Project Will, and then Janine Coleman Miller, who I don't know if she's still here, I can't see her, but she is the founder of Project Will. So they're here to kind of share a little bit about this program and what they're doing, and helping to get the word out about this new program here in Fishers. So welcome.
Test, test, test. There we go. All right. All right. Well, good afternoon, first of all, and thank you so much for having us here today. My name is Charles Woods. I'm the proud executive director of Project Will. I am a Hoosier born and raised here in the city of Indianapolis. Worked in education for the past 22 years. Left Indy, moved to Arkansas, moved to Phoenix. I moved to Phoenix, came back, and I am re-engaging with the wonderful humidity of Indianapolis, Indiana. As an educator, I'm a licensed special education teacher and physical education teacher, and Project Will is a very unique opportunity. All of my time in education was spent, the majority of my time was spent in K through 5 schools, but then the last few years I was running schools online and in person through the K through 12 perspective. And so Project Will is all about providing an opportunity for adults with intellectual disabilities to gain skills, the necessary skills, soft and hard core skills, to be productive in the workforce. We are excited. We just opened up our location here in Fishers at 126th Street at the beautiful Heartland Church there. That is our 3rd location that is currently active. With our program, we've been around since 2019, and with that, we've watched the program grow over time. Since coming here to Fishers, the demand has been even more. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as I dive into this, but it is, the very unique thing about our program is it's a 1-to-4 ratio with our members as well as our staff. And so we focus on our 3 primary programs, which is our camp, which will take place this summer from June 1st through July. Then we have our Links, which is our day adult program, which runs throughout the year for adults ages 18 through 35. And then we have our Launch program, which is employment for sustainable career success, particularly for those that may have encountered some issues within the judicial system. As I've mentioned, this was founded by Janine because she noticed a huge gap in just that transition aspect from high school to the workforce and to adulthood. And so this program is unique in that effort to provide something different, something that will allow them to harbor the sense of community and is treated like it's a job, right? So they come in, they have to clock in every day. Once they clock in, we have an agenda for the day. They have a little bit of water cooler time, talk about what's going on in the world. We talk about the day, they engage with each other, and then we dive into different lessons throughout the weeks to help prepare them for going out into our host sites as well as volunteering in the community and working in the community. So we're founded on the 4 E's: expectations, experiential learning, employment, and emotional well-being. And as I mentioned earlier, this happens from a 4-to-1 ratio. And this allows us to really dedicate time and energy and efforts to each member so that they are getting what they need in every situation. When we go out into the community, it is always that 4-to-1 ratio where we are one of our staff members with 4 of our members, and then they visit to those different locations at different sites. With our E's, our expectations is the primary thing that I've expressed since I've come because it's so unique for me to see a group of people, being our staff and our members, who are just so engaged with being and achieving more than what others may have placed expectations and limitations on them for. One of the things that is major successful for us is we do have quite a few community partnerships. And so as I mentioned, throughout the course of the day, part of their day, they're going to receive a lesson over one of our 6 values. During that lesson takes place that entire week. So let's say, for instance, it's financial literacy. We have a partnership with First Merchants Bank. They come in, they provide training for our employees, for our members, and then they take those skills and they go out and apply those things. But those host sites, such as the United States Museum, Changing Footprints, the Humane Society, throughout the course of their day when they're not in their lesson, they go out into the community and they engage with our host sites to gain those work skills and apply what we've talked about in our classrooms or in our locations. I hate to call them classrooms. That's the teacher in me, pardon me. But in our locations so that they can get prepared to join the workforce. So this year, the total this year is that we've worked since 2024 has been 67 Lucas Oil events, and I must admit the last one that we worked was the NCAA Final Four, and that was quite a time. That is quite a few people that embarked upon our city. But our members and our staff did an amazing job. When we're at Lucas Oil, we have a partnership there where we are responsible for the club levels with cleaning the area as well as stocking the condiments and making sure everything is sustained for those that are participating at the events. One thing that we are proud about is we have a 75% attendance rate. That's from our members, not our staff. Staff is even better. But our members, they're there 3 out of 4 days, and that is something that we cling to because we create an environment where they want to be and they love to be. And it's a very communal and family aspect for them when they're there. And then part of all we do is all of our members build and maintain resumes as they go out into our host sites. Our host sites then become letters of points of references for our members. So they will provide references, and some of our host sites have even hired our members on as staff due to the work that they've done at the sites. Here are some pictures of our members. So you may notice up in the upper left-hand corner, you may or may not, that is our most recent group that is part of our Heartland group that had joined our Graham Road group over at Buttermilk Biscuits. There they create, it's a nonprofit, they create homemade dog treats for animals, and they do it all from scratch, from setting it up to measuring to everything that comes with it. And that was one of their first outings where they linked up. Although we have different host sites and then we rotate through them, we do try to bring all of our teams together because they do love each other in the other locations. So when they get together, it's just one big party and they love to be united with each other, as well as communicating and engaging with each other about the other things that one site may do that one site may not. So some of our host sites, they have sites on their side of town that the others may not. So then we are able to have conversations and potentially arrange for them to visit those sites as well. Here we are downtown a couple of weeks ago at the Final Four. We took them down for one of the practices on that Friday right before the game. Before the games kicked off on that Saturday, participated in the Reese's participation contest. Had just a really, really amazing time. And then we also visited the NCAA Hall of Champions as well to provide that enrichment piece about the history of the NCAA and the basketball game itself. While we're excited to partner, I'm looking at my time, it's coming back to Indy, coming from Arizona, you don't see a lot of cities that have a specific committee to help our population. It is, for me, something that is energetic and exciting to come back to because it shows the progress. When I think back when I was here as an educator, things were a lot different, not just in Fishers, but as well as Indiana as a whole, and especially Indianapolis. But this partnership is already starting to bring some things to fruition for us. And so we're looking to hopefully connect and become partners with some of the employers in the community, offer that transition support for the schools and the other locations and other locations and entities, as well as a community partnership. Everything that we do runs off of our communities around our locations, and we want to make sure that we are able to not only receive support, but also provide impact to the Fishers community as well. 4 practical ways that council can help us open the referral doors. We have Ms. Cole, who's been an advocate for us and speaks for us, will speak for us as we have the privilege of having her child with us. We have introduced us to host sites. Well, we're trying to get host sites in this area. As we said, we've had them in our other areas that we've been established there a little bit longer. Expand our employer links. We want to have more opportunities for our members to gain jobs within the community. And then champion access. Coming here, what was that, last month for my day, and even today, just being able to be a champion and a supporter of everything that's going on here in Fishers, as well as our program with Project Will itself. With that, a couple of events that are coming up. If you're not busy tomorrow night, I know it's a little late notice, but if you're not busy tomorrow night, right on the corner of 10th and Central at 1010 Central Avenue, we are hosting an awesome Autism Awareness Expo. Please come and join us. We have a panel set up. Our members are preparing the things for our event. We're going to be down there from 6 to 8 p.m. If you are interested in coming, my info's on the next slide. Contact me so I can make sure to tell you where to park, because they do tow cars down in that area, as I found out one day when I came out to try to leave. So if you're interested, we would love to have you out. It's going to be a great night. When I leave here, I'm headed back down there to continue setting up. And then we have our large fundraiser that takes place later this year in August, which is called Bubbles and Bags. It's a brunch and an auction that will be taking place at the Vision Loft downtown at 235 Delaware Street. Again, we also have our camp that's launching here soon. So if you have anyone that's interested in that, please send them our way. Our camp is for students and adults ages 14 through 21 who are still in high school. And so it's focused around you're 15. The first day of camp, 10 years from now, what do you see yourself doing? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? You want to be at home? What does a 25-year-old look like? What kind of house do you want? You want that house with a pool and 5 bedrooms overlooking the ocean? How much does that cost? What is it you want to do? So we break it all the way down for them, and then throughout their process, it's kind of a personalized journey for them throughout our camp to help them get prepared for what they want within the next 10 years of their lives. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I have my information up there. I will leave some cards as well. But please feel free to call me. I know it looks different. It's a Phoenix area code. It's okay. It's okay. It's 602. It's a real number. Please reach out. And as well as Kennedy King, who's our program manager. Kennedy manages not just our program, but she is our primary person for our camp as well. So we are just humbled, honored, and thankful to be here, to be a part of the community. And we are looking forward to continue to partner with you and to add value to this great community.
Thank you very much, Charles. Are there any questions from our committee?
I do.
Yeah, Chrissy.
And I will attest to Project Will. I've known Janine for years, and I've seen this shape and come to a vision, and it's great. We've got some former students that are over at the original location, I believe. Charles, are you guys going, so, looking at your camp, you have 14 to 18, for your 18 and older, so I'm thinking of like our transition students that really could use some structure over the summer. Are you guys looking at summer opportunities, for those that would want to go back to the school year traditionally in August?
Yes, so the camp, I'm sorry if I misspoke, but the camp is for ages 14 through 21, 2022.
Okay.
So that's absolutely, is
Okay.
exactly geared for that purpose, with our hopes of they'll enjoy their camp experience, they'll want to come back the following year, and then when they finally reach that threshold, they'll be ready to come and actually join our links facility. But yes,
Great.
so, yeah,
Great, thank you.
great question. Sorry if I didn't speak that.
You're good.
Is there a cost for participants? Is it all grant funded? Are you using other funding? How is
So
that?
Medicaid funds,
Okay.
as well as private pay is also an option
Okay.
as well.
Awesome.
And we have 2 locations here. One will be at our Allisonville Christian Church, which is off 77th and Allisonville Road. And then we have one for our West Side location, which is at Chapel Rock Church off of 21st and Girls School Road.
Any other questions? So my understanding is the links is over at Heartland Church, and you are going to be adding more participants in June. So, right, if people are interested to contact you to get started in June, and there's an application process and an interview and all that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much for reminding that. Yes, that list is already growing. We launch our next cohort will launch June 1st. So if you are interested, you can visit our website to complete the application process and get that process going. Or you again, reach out to me directly and I'll connect you with what you need. But yes, starting June 1st, we're looking for that location to expand. Currently, we are serving 5 members, and we are easily going to be projected to go to at least 12 based on the list that is already starting to come through for us.
Anybody, Jason, you had a question?
Yes, I actually have a comment. So I am the deaf representative, and I represent the deaf and hard of hearing community here in Fishers. And I understand that many students at the Indiana School for the Deaf actually live in Fishers. So I am happy to refer you to our school contact at the Indiana School for the Deaf to see what we can do to support your program.
That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Sure.
And anyone online, do you have a question? Susan, Wilbur, Kelly?
No,
I'm
thank
okay
you.
so
It was
far.
a really great presentation.
Great. And Wilbur, did you have a question or comment?
No, I just finally got on, so I probably missed most of it. Sorry.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you, Charles. We appreciate it. We'll get the word out. Thank you
so
for
much.
being here.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to new business, item number 6. So just wanted to give everybody an update on, we granted 3 ADA matching grants in March at the kickoff, and I just wanted to share that we received about 6 applicants. We were hoping for more participation, and I think moving forward, we want to kind of see where we can really do more outreach about this ADA program. But I wanted to share with you, for those of you that may not know, that we did award Fishers United Methodist Church with a $2,500 matching dollar grant so they could create a concrete wheelchair ramp for the entrance of the church. We granted opportunities for positive growth for push buttons for their doors for $2,270, and then outside the box, the Fishers location, we granted them $1,500 for a portable Hoyer lift. So really excited that we were able to do that. And we have remaining in this matching grant program, we have $3,730 remaining for distribution. And so what I kind of wanted to just see about thoughts and ideas is, you know, how should we move forward? I think what I'd like to do is defer maybe to some of our newest members like Jody and Susan, and maybe some of the people that participated in My Point of View Day in our accessibility committee to maybe think about ways in which we could help promote this program and maybe identify some potential businesses or sites that could use, you know, this matching grant, that maybe we could encourage them and work with them to apply. And I know that Jody had identified one particular strip center, and I did reach out, and I think I caught them by surprise a little bit, but they were interested, but I also don't think they really understood what actually needed, what improvements could be better, and so I would welcome anybody's thoughts, but I do want to try to see if maybe the accessibility subcommittee could kind of work on some ideas of how we can promote this program more, how we can maybe do some one-to-one outreach. But anybody have any thoughts, ideas?
Yeah, I've got one. This morning we were, oh, is that me? I guess that's me echoing back. This morning we were over at Superior Van and Mobility, which is just off of 131st Street. And we were over at Superior Van and Mobility, and we went across the street while we were getting our van service. We went across the street to grab lunch. We realized that there was no curb cut directly across from Superior Van and Mobility to allow you to get to any of the restaurants without going out in the street. You can go out in the street, you can go about 15, 20 feet down the road and you can get access, but directly across from the company that does mobility, they have a full curb across the street. I didn't have a chance to talk with them, but I was going to suggest that maybe Superior Van and Mobility could apply for a curb cut in the curb across the street, because everybody comes in there is handicapped.
Thanks for sharing, Wilbur. Why don't we get some further information to Molly? Is that like a street? Is that kind of like over by the stop sign, the street light, or is that actually like on their property?
No, it's not. It's not on their property. It's across the street. Okay. There's a school over there.
Okay. So it might be something that the city needs to look at, that the city itself needs to address.
Streets, yep.
Okay, if you can send like a picture or something, we'll get on that, because that does need to be addressed, but that may be an actual city thing.
Well, my apologies, and I'm still not driving.
Okay.
With my stroke, I'm still not driving, so I'll have to get somebody to help me to get that picture.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for pointing out. Jason had a few comments.
So I actually have two recommendations. So recently my neighbor had a grant, just a neighborhood grant from the city of Fishers. And I think it would be nice to align that grant together so we can provide the communities, whether they're workers or the leaders of those local locations around our neighborhood, just how they could provide more ADA accommodations or be more accessible. So I don't know if we could do something within my neighborhood to try to get the local businesses a little bit more compliant. But then we also showed 3 organizations that had success stories before and after implementing ADA requirements. So this is a very new program that we have, so I don't think people are very aware that this is a legitimate grant. So I think it would be nice if we could video some of our success stories so people feel a little bit more trustworthy about applying to these grants, and they can see how it has impacted the local community as well.
Great, thank you. A great recommendation. Stacy, we'll go with you, and then we'll.
So what I think one of the things as we were going through and reviewing the grants, now that we've kind of gone through it, making sure we have a good rubric from the question, but also some of the questions that came up, like what is the scope, how many people will it impact? I think we can better frame some of those questions that we're asking. So to say, hey, is this an impact of 100 people, a year, a week, a day, that type of thing. And so I think that'll help people apply. I know one person had questions about, is this become an ADA code enforcement? And I think clarifying that, I think I sent you that question. So I just think clarifying hey, if you do this, does this become an audit? Does this, is there any pushback or follow-up or whatever kind of thing do you risk any of those things, especially in some of those older buildings, homes that people have converted to. businesses. So I think we've learned some stuff this year to kind of help give people more information as they're completing it to then send back in.
Sure, thank you, State. And we want to partner with the community. We want to just share lived experience, share, you know, like, hey, I've been coming to this restaurant and I'm having difficulty, you know, getting up to your door, whatever. That's an example, but we do need to, you know, provide some examples and then like some one-on-one outreach for sure. Jason, did you have any more? Did you have another question or comment?
Yes. So unfortunately, many community members are not aware of even what the ADA means and what that entails. For example, wheelchair ramps, accessibility for the deaf community, the buttons to help us cross the street, the buttons to help us open the door. So I think it'd be best if we clarify what the ADA is and have like a nice introduction video explaining what this is for and what the community needs and how, again, this might help you follow codes because, again, I feel like a lot of people just are unaware and uneducated of what the ADA actually is.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you. Go ahead.
When you're ready.
Jody, yes.
Okay. So I wanted to make a couple of suggestions with regard to this because it is something I've been thinking about. When we're talking about getting the word out or advertising, I mean, in addition to the grassroots, for those of us who do go out regularly, like I try to, you know, visit many establishments in Fishers, like just because I want to be able to live and enjoy the community where I am. But I don't know, I haven't looked into this, but if Fishers has like a chamber of commerce or any sort of way to link into businesses in groups, maybe get landlord contact information for some of the buildings, like the building that I suggested apply for the grant. And combine Jason's comments with, like, here's a little bit of education. Like, this is not necessarily code enforcement, but there are residents in the community that have, you know, these types of disabilities, wheelchair use, that use different mobility aids, and they need additional accommodations, like, you know, the buttons for the doors or into the bathrooms even, and, you know, ramps. I mean, many businesses could even benefit from a portable ramp if they have a step up into their business. These are things that they can invest in, but they don't know, you know, whether because they aren't aware of it and wheelchair users just try to enter and turn away without saying anything. But in addition to us saying something in the community, I think any way to advertise to groups of businesses at a time. I mean, I'm happy to go and network at like a Chamber of Commerce type event or anything like that and do a short presentation because it's easy. I mean, it's a grant and it's a low cost to them and it's something that Fishers will match. And I think that they would be receptive to it if we could do a little bit of both the outreach and the education piece together.
Great ideas. Thank you. Thank you. Susan or Kelly, you want to share a couple comments or questions or?
Sure. I was curious whether there was specific parameters or whatever around these grants, so that it might be easier to talk to businesses about what the monies are for and exactly where they can apply for the grant, so that maybe there's clarity around it. And I don't know, because I'm new to if there's a place on Fishers' website that's under grants and then ADA or how that works. So those would be my questions.
And
Molly,
I can
go ahead.
speak to that, sure. So it is on our website on the accessibility page, and our public relations team did some promotion to get the application out there. There are parameters listed on there, as well as a bunch of examples, so folks understand kind of what we're looking for. This round was infrastructure based, so not so much like translation or programming or education, but more brick and mortar solutions. So those were some of the parameters listed online on the application.
And do those focuses change? Like, does the committee say, okay, this year we'd really like for the monies to be focused more toward, you know, other things than brick and mortar?
So this is our first time doing it, and this time we focused on infrastructure, as we saw a need in the community with local businesses. So that's our focus right now. Maybe in future years it will pivot, but right now it's infrastructure based.
Right, that's correct, Molly. So right now, it's more structured based, and so we'll see. It could possibly evolve, but we're still just trying to get on this, because I think part of accessibility really is a lot of infrastructure improvements that could be done around the city that are part of our community, you know, so.
Sorry, I was gonna say, also repeated use of social media, like, it has to be like I don't know when the program opens and when it ends, but it has to be like a multi-times per week post. Have you heard about this grant program? You know, improve accessibility to your business, like simple, it has to be easy for the businesses, and it can be communicated to them in a very clear and succinct way to get their buy-in to start, and then do the rest. But anyways, that's another suggestion.
And then this is Jason. It would be also nice if we advertise to local disability organizations as well, not only the businesses, but they have their own network. So it wouldn't just be us advertising. They have more connections than we do. So make sure we're not just duplicating the effort and have everybody do it.
Is this something that businesses like the Fishers Event Center and places that were identified, like during the roundtable discussion, which I know we're moving to under committees, but is this a place where Fishers Event Center could go for monies for other things, or is this focused more for the small business owner who might need the other match to that to be able to do a curb cutout, or et cetera?
This was more for the business, the outside community, and so we'll work on that. I had a lot of great ideas, Susan, and a lot of things to kind of talk about. So I'm thinking that we'll get a subcommittee meeting going where you guys could all, you know, talk about all this, just for the sake of time, because I've gotta move on.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna move on to just the March Disability Awareness Month recap. We had a great event at the kickoff. We had Jessica Miner, who's the Director of Community Engagement with Accessibility, speak about her lived experience, and we granted the 3 ADA award recipients with sharing the matching grants that we were awarding to them. And then we also gave out some awards. We gave out the Life Without Limits Award that my daughter Krista Coble received this year. She is on the Athletic Hall of Fame at Fishers High School for winning the first place in the 100-meter dash at the state finals track and field competition in 2025. So she got nominated, and that was exciting. And we had Spavia was the Cornerstone Employer Award recipient. Amanda Smith is the owner, and she's a veteran with disabilities and does a lot to train her employees, and has some employees with different abilities, and has done a great job helping bring more awareness. And then we had 2 recipients for the Accessibility Award. We had Sarah McGregor, who was one of the founders of Same As You. It's a college enrichment program for adults with intellectual disabilities. And Dalia Casas, and she is one of the founders of the Al Huda Sunday School. They have a special needs program there for the Muslim community. So great recipients this year. We did cancel the employment breakfast that we had, and we decided to go ahead and really focus on the October 13th disability employment breakfast that we are going to do in October 13th here at City Hall. And so we want everyone to save the date for that, and then more information to come. But we're really wanting to focus more on educating the employers and really outreaching to new people that haven't been a part of our employment workshops and programs. And then we had great workshops at the Hamilton East Public Library, and we're very grateful for their support and partnerships of programming there at the library. And we had a wonderful arts reception in partnership with the Fishers Arts Council. It was very beautiful, and we had some performances from a theater arts group and also from the Bold. It's a ballroom dance group. And it was very beautiful. And then what capped the month is one of the events that we're really proud of is the annual My Point of View Day breakfast with the mayor. And we had probably over 100 and something people come to that event, and it was a full house. So I kind of wanted to share kind of the survey and takeaways of that event. And so for people in the audience, the My Point of View Day is a event we do where we invite disability stakeholders, elected officials from all levels of government, the department heads of the city of Fishers, and the mayor and his team come. And we have educators. People came from HOC schools. We had the school board and the directors of the special education. We had our interim superintendent, Matt Kegley. So it was a really well-received event, and wanted to share kind of some of the survey results and information. We surveyed participants after the event to kind of give us some feedback, because this is probably our 10th year in doing this event, and so we learned a lot about what impact we're doing. So basically, I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of what happened. The overall feedback was that it was a wonderful event, great collaboration, great networking opportunity. They liked that people shared their lived experience, and there was diversity of thought. And a lot of sincerity from everybody there, just wanting to learn and understand and hear. Overall, not enough time to discuss the topic of disability. The other feedback is maybe invite more diverse participants of different ages, maybe some younger folks with different disabilities and different diversity from different disability types. Input from young adults, I think, inviting maybe the coordinators of the unified sports and the best buddies, that would be probably go over very well. They liked the topic groups that were discussed. They mentioned the microphones, that we need to make sure that we are using microphones when we talk, and that they're being used. And then they mentioned inviting at least one person with intellectual developmental disability to participate at each topic table. Programming. So basically, again, needing more time, they'd say at least add another half hour for discussion, more time to network prior to getting started at the breakfast. Provide statistics as it relates to Fishers and Hamilton County about the topics being discussed. Provide resources that can be shared with attendees that can then be shared to the overall community. Provide maybe some more instruction, guidance, expectations to the scribes, facilitators, attendees about the discussion process prior to starting. And have the scribes use the computer for the notes, because we were trying to interpret everybody's notes later and it's like chicken scratches or we couldn't read the writing. Need more interpreters. We worked on interpreters, just so people know, we put out a call out months ahead of time. My understanding is that there's not enough interpreters in the business right now. So that's a discussion that we probably need to figure out, like, how can we get more people there? What can we do? So I think Jason and his group could maybe help us out with that. They want to know what's been discussed in previous My Point of View Day events. They want to know, like, what has the committee accomplished, as a result of our as a result of our My Point of View days. Maybe have more of a social presence at the meeting, so the media and the community knows what we're trying to do. Invite the media to attend and share what's being done in disability inclusion. There are also a lot of people that want the notes and the input from the other tables, so they want to hear what discussions were had at other tables and what input was made. In the program, they said, provide a follow-up meeting after My Point of View Day, bring transportation back as a topic discussion, add Medicaid waiver as a topic discussion, add parent caregiver discussion, invite more ethnic groups to participate, add a veterans discussion group, spend time identifying. We spent a lot of time identifying problems and challenges, maybe provide more time for ideas to solve these challenges, and provide the questions in advance so attendees can research and process their answers prior to the discussion. That might help to get things going. Update the language document that was provided at the event and provide more updated resources. Action steps and next steps after we have these discussions, what are we going to do with them? We know what we've been doing with them, but I think the audience and the participants that have been there don't understand what we're doing next based on the information. Provide an overview of each topic discussion, like, again, what have we done in this area? What challenges do we see are still things that need to be addressed, or what successes we've had in those areas? List accomplishments of the past years. Before we move on to new initiative, based on, because most everybody on the committee was there, and then the new members of the committee were there. Is there any other kind of feedback or just discussion you want to have on anything related to the food, the program? Just so far, is there any other kind of feedback you'd like to share? We could put that in the notes for this meeting. No? Okay. Then I'll move on to the next step. New initiative ideas from the surveys. So there was idea of helping to start a special education parent advisory council, CPAC, at HSC schools. Provide a list of accessible restaurants and events for the community to have, like, as a resource, like where are the accessible restaurants? What are accessible events, and promote those things. Provide disability inclusion training for staff at the Fishers Event Center. Share contact information of individuals, organizations that provide disability inclusion training. Continue to ensure all venues in Fishers have closed captioning. Engage MudSoc to look into unified sports program. And I don't know if that's even something that could be done, because unified sports is part of Special Olympics Indiana. There's a partnership between the schools and the Special Olympics. So I don't know, but it's an idea we could look into. Engage Fishers Community Center and other fitness centers in providing reduced memberships and/or special passes for Fishers residents with IDD and their caregivers. Provide adaptive exercise classes at the Fishers Community Center. Find ideas on how to address the ASL interpreter shortage. Create a Fishers Disability Awareness social media site for information sharing, resources, etc. Share with the community and the My Point of View Day participants that we have established subcommittees to work on initiatives in each topic. Looks like the community right now doesn't really know that we have subcommittees, and really they don't know really the things that we've done in the past. So we need to highlight so they can understand kind of where we started and where we are now. They want to make sure requests for accommodations overall are easier. They evaluate accessible parking around the city of Fishers for barriers. Continue to focus on housing for adults with disabilities. Continue to focus on transportation barriers. Collaborate with partners for housing initiatives. Collaborate with partners to advance disability inclusion. Look at hosting and developing adaptive sports opportunities, events, tournaments, etc. Survey accessibility needs in the city of Fishers community, hotel, restaurants, etc. Survey all city buildings and events to ensure accessibility. Work with Hamilton County Tourism with sharing information about disability inclusion from the Hamilton County tourism bloggers. They have hired bloggers that provide a lot of resources and recommendations of things that are accessible and things that are of interest in terms of tourism and what's accessible in the community. They want our help in promoting that. The accessibility group should meet on a regular basis. Yes, that's something that we're doing. Next steps and action items should be discussed at My Point of View Day. And I think that was the biggest takeaway, is like we kind of shared, lived experiences, and then like, do we really need to maybe look at, okay, what is next steps? What are 3 action items from each topic that we can come away and work on? Look at changing the ADA code requirements in the city to make accessibility better. So are there any questions on that? That's a lot to digest, but are there any thoughts, ideas, any additional comments that people would want to share? This was all from the survey when we asked, what we could, what initiatives do you think we need to do? So there's a lot there.
I thought the veterans point, number 6 on one of the slides, that was a different perspective and kind of a different, some of these are things that we kind of just need to fine tune, and it's not the first time we've seen some of them, but that's a different perspective and a different group that we haven't really tapped into.
Yeah, and we did invite a disabled veteran who came and thought it was a great event, and he thought we need to bring more veterans into the mix. And there are some organizations that also kind of do a lot of helping with disabled veterans that we could partner with and reach out with. We also asked participants if they would like to be part of a subcommittee and be involved in our group. As I've always said, we have mayoral appointments, but within these appointments, we need a lot of help with feedback and community members to be part of these subcommittees that we have. So we're always looking for people, but I just wanted to share, so kind of the list of people here that expressed interest in being part of one of the subcommittees. And then if we go to parking, there was feedback on more accessible parking, maybe more signage, maybe marking some of these spots as accessible, because I don't think we had enough. And that to let people know we've got like 2 parking spots, 2 parking lots, one on one side and one, across the way.
Cecilia, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Has the committee ever considered doing like a half-a-day event for this? Because, all of these suggestions are wonderful, but, like, in the time of breakfast, would they ever consider like a longer period of time, like breakfast, and then, you know what I mean? Like a breakfast to noon type of thing?
I think that that's something that when we plan it always comes up, and then the concern also is taking people's time. And I know that sounds really silly, especially when people are asking for more time, but it's like trying to find that happy balance. I know that we run into it when we're trying to get employers involved in things, and as important as that is, they still have a job they have to do. So I do think, and we were talking about that, more people want more time, which is great, but it's such a fine balance, so it's kind of interesting. And maybe we do offer, like somebody said, more time to socialize before, so, something starts at 8:30, but the door's open for social networking at 8 or whatever, and it ends at this time, but the area is available, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like do like a session A and session B type of thing. That would be.
So I did have a conversation with Molly, and so we all need to kind of think this through a little bit about maybe possibly throughout the month of March, or maybe even February, starting in February, maybe we invite and do 3 topics, little sessions with divide them into 3 different groups, 3 different topics one day, and then the next day we do 3 other topics, and do it that way, and then we convene as a big group to kind of share maybe the highlights, and then, okay, let's what could we do as a group to collaborate and brainstorm on ideas of how to meet some of these challenges or some of these thoughts. The other thing would be separating the tables possibly, so that there's groups meeting in different parts of this building, because this room actually gets really small once we get all these tables in here and everything. So we're kind of re-looking to see what we can do. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts of kind of breaking it up.
Yeah, I almost think having some maybe smaller groups that could dig into some things, and maybe the time frame isn't as hard as getting everybody on one day and that type of thing, could accomplish having more time, but also making use of the time when everybody's together a little better. So maybe it's not for every topic, maybe it rotates year over year, and not everybody needs a one-off, but maybe there are some things for that day, and then there's some things that kind of go off-site, so to speak, and then come and report back that day versus have all the conversations that day. So maybe it accomplishes both things.
And this is a great room, but we've always talked about the acoustics. It is hard when you have a lot of people. It's a beautiful room. But like you said, there are hundreds of people, over 100 people here with great things to say.
Right.
And
So
ours, our group was 2 tables, and we divided up, and it was still hard to hear.
Yeah.
So let me just share a little bit about the room setup. Too loud, tables should be limited to 10 seats per table, hard to hear. Give instructions to participants to only talk by using the microphone so folks can hear better and so that the closed captioning can be captured, fix IT issues, positive feedback on the use of the video screens throughout the room. So we had video screens set up on the sides. More signage needed to guide attendees as to where the event is located. Positive feedback on providing the sensory kits at the event. Signage needed outside the building to let the attendee know where to go. Big screen in the middle of the room should also have closed captioning. I thought that was a great suggestion. We didn't have that. Scatter the discussion tables throughout the building. So this building, it just, as you can imagine, once you get all these tables, it's just hard, and there's just a lot going on. So we need to kind of rethink, and I don't know if you have any thoughts, Molly, on anything, but.
I have thoughts.
Kelly has thoughts. Kelly, what do you think?
Oh, am I gonna have to hear my echo? If you guys can hear me, I'll just.
Yes, we can hear you.
So I've had the same input on the last 5 things we've talked about, so I'll just save it for now. I think amazing things happen on this committee that a lot of people don't know about because we don't have a good channel for sharing it with the community at large, and at least meaning those people who would like to know what we're doing, who can't always come to meetings or dial into the public setting. When I read all of the feedback from My Point of View Day, and I think about the importance of having legislators there, because some things that we care about will only change through legislation. The part that they participate that morning is perfect for them. And I think the morning is great. What I do think we should purposely do is have a follow-up meeting with anybody who chooses to come to follow up on, the committee can come up with the top 3 issues that we get from feedback, and then sit down and have an optional thing later if people would like to come and talk about the solutions. Solutions can always be filtered back to the legislative folks that can impact these things if they can't be there for the second part. But I do think it'd be really valuable to kind of keep what we do with on-time food and coffee, better IT. This year we got really cramped for time because we started 20 minutes late and had to cut part of our stuff because the IT systems weren't working appropriately. So keep that in mind. That's one of the reasons it felt really, really crampy this year. Most people that start their day at My Point of View Day could give you another half hour on the beginning. They're used to doing stuff at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. If we want to have a half an hour social time before we get real busy with the stuff.
Right, all good things. I agree, Kelly. Susan and Wilbur, are you there? Do you have any thoughts, comments?
I do. I've thought about this, and my hope is that My Point of View Day actually is taken into the rest of the year, and that there are subcommittees that meet, and perhaps people who were on those roundtables who would like to be leaders, volunteer leaders of gathering people back together again on a time, and perhaps it's even set by the mayor's office that anyone who's interested in transportation, they will be meeting on April 14th. I'm making it up. And the people who were interested and on the housing committee, there's a follow-up meeting that's scheduled immediately in April, so that this is ongoing throughout the year, and hopefully these ground root committees will take hold and they will report back to the whatever the mayor's committee is, that would be like the committee that would be oversight. I see an umbrella with these different subcommittees fitting underneath with leaders at each of those subcommittees that could come back and meet in a little bit smaller forum and bringing back to the table these ideas. So this is ongoing throughout the year. That was my thought.
Sure. Thanks, Susan, for your feedback. Yes, we actually do, meet. And so what I think what people don't realize is we are meeting and we do have groups. But now that we have more mayoral appointments, we're actually working right now, and we're going to be talking to all of you guys about leading one to possibly two topics to help lead, and then you work with your subcommittee. So more to come with that, but we'll be kind of reaching out to all of you to see, especially the new folks. We're really looking to maybe have everybody have like two subcommittees to kind of work on and divvy up the responsibilities and the areas, and so think about what you might want to be involved with, and we'll be reaching out to you guys. But definitely we do have subcommittees, but I think what people don't realize is what those subcommittees have been doing, because we haven't really shared with people. It's not we don't promote ourselves very much, either. So, but I'm going to keep moving for the sake of time here, because we're running out of time. Just really quickly, some comments on the registration. Provide a cutoff for registration, for my point of view. Add the topics that are going to be discussed in advance at registration time, so that attendees could maybe choose their top 3 choices in the RSVP. Provide them what topics are going to be discussed prior to the event, and maybe share with them, okay, you are assigned to this topic, so that they can start thinking about it before they show up that morning. Provide the questions in advance so that people can have more time to kind of prepare for the discussion. And then ask for more information as it relates to accommodations, like have something in the registration link to make it easier for those that need accommodations to have more details on what exactly they might need. And then for food this year, it looks like more eggs and potatoes, less carbs, more protein. They ran out of food and coffee. The food and coffee person, they was having transportation issues that morning, so they got there late, because normally we have it all set up. Good idea of having the table, access to both sides of the table, so that people can access the food and the beverages from both sides of the table. Provide juice. And then here was another one, have some volunteers assisting people at the food table, so to help bring their beverage or their food to their table, and especially people that may need assistance. So those are all good thoughts. So I just wanted to provide you with the survey recap, and please reach out to me if you think of anything else, but we'll be following up with all of you to see what priorities are, and start getting going on some of these recommendations and ideas that were presented at My Point of View Day. So with that, I want to go ahead and just see if there's any committee updates. Why don't we go ahead and start with housing? Wilbur, do you have anything with housing? Okay, Wilbur's not there. Okay. Employment, Chrissy and Michelle?
Yeah, so I think really we're just focused on planning our October event. We've made some good connections. One of the things we talked about at My Point of View Day was working with our foundational organizations, so Fishers Event Center, Community Center, and so we're going to follow up with the Fishers Event Center here now that to finish the school year. and really looking at expanding our our Fishers Allies for Disability Employment, FADE, our networking group to kind of tackle and add some more employers in. So got some great things coming up on the horizon.
And when is that next meeting?
I think it's the 21st, it's next week, Tuesday morning.
Is that at Opportunities for Positive Growth?
Or online.
Online only?
It can be
Oh,
both.
both.
Yeah.
And what time?
8:30.
8:30, okay. Okay, great. And community support, Kelly, do you have any updates there?
Nothing more than I shared at my point of view day. We just have a lot going on with waiver reset as far as services go, but nothing else.
Okay, great, okay. Networking and social, Darcy?
Hi, yes, the Fishers Farmers Market and Accessibility Inclusion Day is on July 11th. Applications for vendors and informational organizations will start May 1st and go through June the 20th. And looking for some additional help this year. And one thing I mentioned, Molly, in the last couple of years, is information or having a pamphlet about the Fishers Advisory Committee for Disability, because you talked about that we would need, the community doesn't know what we do. Cecilia, and so this would be a great way. We have our table, and we have our tablecloth, our logo, and just be able to give some information out for those who are interested.
Perfect.
On what we do. So that's something I'm going to need to work on in getting one of those, the pamphlets done. But yeah, the application process is going to open up and could use everybody's help with that.
Darcy, can you email us the application? So for the members who are new, this is what, our third year doing this Inclusion Day, or second year?
This is our third
Third year. So this is Accessibility Inclusion Day. It's going to be July 11th at the Fishers Farmers Market there by the amphitheater. And they invite people with disabilities who have some kind, they create a product, or they have like food and merchandise where they sell their items at the farmer's market. So there's an application process for anyone that's interested in selling. And then we need everybody's help. If everyone from the committee could commit a little bit of time. We also have badges coming for the new members. We have a Fishers Advisory Committee badge, and we want people to walk around. Darcy's going to need some help, and we are talking about having a table that has our logo on it, and maybe exactly right information about what this group does. If you're interested in being a part and helping, being part of a subcommittee, where to sign up, and information on disability inclusion, maybe best practice about accessibility, more information about the ADA grants, just being in the community and bringing more awareness. So please put that on your calendar. What is the time, Darcy, on
It's
that?
from 8 to noon.
8 to
And
noon.
organizations who do provide a service for people with disabilities are welcome to have a booth. So we encourage any organization that would like to get information about people with disabilities. We'll have an application, that's included in the application once it comes available.
Okay, great. And then social media. So that is something that this group has been kind of talking about, and Kelly and I and Molly, we've been kind of thinking this through, and we're looking to put together a social media presence. And I don't know, Molly, if you want to share a little bit about, and Kelly, what
I can share.
you're thinking. Okay, go ahead, Kelly.
I'm very excited. So I have started putting together the Facebook page. It is called Fishers Disability Awareness. If you are on Facebook, you will get an invitation to join that page. I'm sorry, I'm hearing an echo and my sensory integration issues are kicking in. So when you get that that's a real thing. Now, it's important to understand that, I'm gonna turn my mic down. It's important to understand that this is not a part of the city of Fishers. It is not attached to the city of Fishers, and so there'll be a disclaimer in our bio that explains this is run by volunteers, and that we have gotten some approval from PR. Thank you, Molly, for your help with that we can use the images that we typically use for Fishers Disability Awareness Month, because I think that's a very well-known thing that will help people know we're not just scamming them. So within the subcommittees, we will certainly determine who is going to do that and who are going to be the admins on the page. But you can expect to see like things like the farmers market and workshops around the community and fun facts and all kinds of things that we could share will be on that page. And so that will it's probably 12 more hours away from you guys getting invitations, because I have to add what we talked about, Molly, with the PR and stuff, but it's good to go. What's really, really important is for those of you who are listening, who are going to be active volunteers in this process, I need you to make sure you're sharing the page with other people, because it doesn't matter if we have a Facebook page, if only 4 people know about it, it's just like coming to these meetings, right? We have to have a way to get information out, and to do that, you have to spread the awareness of that resource of information. So it's coming soon to a theater near you.
Okay, great, Molly, Kelly, thank you for the update. So that'll go a long way, I think, in providing a way for people to see what new programs are out there, what we're doing, what events, information. We've also talked about building more awareness of the different disabilities, maybe every month, feature some resources, feature some facts and information for the public to understand. Brain Injury Awareness Month, and some facts and resources, and just Death Awareness Month, and different things, and maybe some hidden disabilities, information on different things like that. And so more to come, but that's exciting, so thank you. So deaf and hard of hearing, I know Jason, there was an amazing, for March Disability Awareness Month, there was a deaf and hard of hearing night with the Indy Ignite, and it was amazing. It was really, really fun, and Jason and his group did a great job. And so Jason, if you want to share a little bit more about everything your subcommittee's been doing.
Sure,
and also about the Ignite Night.
Yeah, we were really excited to partner with the Ignite volleyball team to host a deaf and hard of hearing awareness night. So we had over 200 individuals show up to that event, and then we had different events happening during that event. So we had somebody sign the national anthem, a local volleyball team signed. During the breaks, we had the Indiana Association of the Deaf volleyball team. They were teaching some signs in regards to the Ignite team. We had different members that we could meet. We had the mascot that individuals could meet. So it was a really successful event for us. We will be hosting another Fuel hockey event as well. So we had previously done that in February, and it was big. It was highly successful, and it was very nice that we had everything on the Jumbotron, so all of the players were sighing on the Jumbotron, and a lot of fans felt very inspired to see that. So I want to thank the Fishers Community Center. So we were able to partner with them to make sure we have full accessibility with captions and sign language interpreters during their class. So we're making the facility more deaf friendly. And then we're setting up an Instagram Live. So it's great. So we started this about a month ago, and we already have 1,000 followers, and every video typically has about 25,000 views, which is astounding, and that shows how excited people are learning about the deaf and hard of hearing community here in Fishers. And then I also want to recognize the ASL Nationwide Day is tomorrow, April 15th. So that's very exciting, and we're celebrating that together. So it's the National ASL Day.
Wonderful, Jason. You've done a phenomenal job, and I'll tell you, having the closed captioning at the Fishers Event Center, it was wonderful. I was there at the event and showing the spectators signs for clapping and just different things. It was very well done. So thank you, Jason, for everything you're doing. We appreciate that.
And there is more to come, don't worry.
That's awesome. Any more comments on committees or anything that we just talked about? If not, we'll move on to, we're moving on to community comment. This is an opportunity for if there's anyone from the audience, from the community would like to come up and just share anything related to disabilities to our committee. This is an opportunity if there's anyone from the audience that wants to share. If not, we'll close the public comment. So we'll just close the public comment, okay? And just wanted to get everybody to put on their calendar, save the dates, some advisory committee meetings, the public quarterly meetings that we have that are coming up. The next meeting will be June 9th, September 15th, and December 15th here in this theater here in Municipal Hall. So just want to get those on the calendar there for everybody to save the dates. And then we also are looking at the proposed dates for next year's March Disability Awareness Month. So we have the kickoff scheduled right now, March 1st, 2027. The Fishers Arts exhibit Friday, March 12th, 2027, and My Point of View Day, Tuesday, March 23rd, 2027. One of the other things I wanted to just kind of share with everybody was we did get a few comments about the kickoff, and I wanted to maybe get a couple of thoughts about changing the kickoff format a little bit to make it more of a networking event, a networking breakfast event, and maybe not so much of a formal presentation, but just networking, a breakfast, then share the award recipients and make it more of a social opportunity, network opportunity, rather than a program with a speaker, but more of networking. We'll share who the award recipients are, maybe give a couple highlights of something that we've, some initiative, and then move on. So are there any questions with that? Go ahead, Jason.
I think it would be great if we could assign or invite the same people from My Point of View Day. So the list that they could have ahead of time, so we can give it to them at that first. We then have 2-3 weeks for them to think about it and then go to My Point of View Day. This will also help break that awkwardness of that first initial meet. If they already meet at the kickoff event, they know who they're going to be talking with, and then we reconvene at the My Point of View Day.
That's a great idea. I mean, usually we do get a lot of elected officials that come. They want to come and hear and meet people, and so that's a great idea. So looking for ideas, but we're just looking to kind of how can we change it up and make it more of a celebration networking and make it more of a fun event rather than we're coming here to listen to a speaker kind of thing, It's so...
I like that idea.
So good. Okay, great. Well, anything else? If not, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Anyone online, Wilbur, Kelly, or Susan, any last minute thoughts? Okay. Well, if we don't have any other thoughts, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Kelly, and second by Michelle. We're adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.